I never wanted to be liked. My name's Claudia and I'm 24. Being liked is for people who need validation. I've never needed that. College was a joke. Communications major? Full of people who thought they'd change the world through PowerPoint presentations. I walked into that class every day ready for battle. Shaved head on one side. Combat boots? And a tote bag that said, "Smash the patriarchy," in big bold letters. Yeah, I was that girl, and I was proud of it. The professor would try to discuss media representation, and I'd shut down every male student who dared speak. They'd whine about how I was too aggressive or needed to calm down. That's when I knew I was doing something right. There was this one guy, Derek, thought he was so deep because he played rugby and read books sometimes. He'd sit there with his stupid little smile, judging me along with everyone else. I could see it in his eyes. Then there was Chad, typical gym bro, all muscles and no brain. One day, he decided to mess with me, sat next to me and started with some line about my intense eyes. For a second, I thought maybe he was different. Maybe he actually saw me. But then he laughed, said he was just messing with me, and went back to his seat. I wanted to disappear. I could feel everyone's eyes on me, their silent laughter. I didn't say another word in that class for the rest of the semester. Moved to the back row. Kept my headphones on, even during group work. Let them think they won. After that, I started going to the gym every morning at 6 a.m. I was angry. And anger makes great fuel. The same guys who made fun of me for being too intense were now staring at me as I lifted weights heavier than they could manage. I changed my look. Grew out my hair. Started wearing makeup. Bought clothes that actually fit. I was still me, but now they could see it. Now they wanted me. I started posting on social media. At first it was just gym progress. But then I noticed the attention, the likes, the comments, the DMs. I leaned into it. Mirror selfies, workout videos, vacation pictures. I became someone else, someone they wanted to see. Derek hit me up a few years after college, said he'd seen my profile, how amazing I looked. He wanted to catch up. I agreed, mostly because I wanted him to see what he'd missed out on. We started dating. He was different now, more mature, he said, but he was still the same judgmental prick from college, just better at hiding it. He'd make comments about my posts, how I dressed for attention or seemed different online than in person. I'd tell him he was being ridiculous, that this was just who I was now. He'd back down, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. He never trusted me, never really saw me. I started talking to this other guy, Mark. He was everything Derek wasn't, confident, successful, not afraid to go after what he wanted. We flirted online, then met up for drinks. One thing led to another, and we started seeing each other behind Derek's back. Derek found out, of course. He didn't yell or get angry. He just got quiet. That was worse. I thought we were building something real, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. We are. I lied. Mark's just a friend. Don't lie to me, he said. I'm not stupid. I tried to explain, to make him understand, but he didn't want to hear it. He packed his things and left, just like that. Mark and I dated for a while, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. He was controlling, jealous, always accusing me of cheating. I ended it after a few months. By then, my social media following had grown. I was making money from sponsorships, collaborations, brand deals. I was living the life I'd always wanted. Free, independent, successful. Then everything fell apart. It started with a comment on one of my posts. Someone from college. I think they called me out for being a hypocrite. How I went from smash the patriarchy to posting thirst traps for male attention. Others joined in. Soon my comments were full of people calling me fake, a sellout, a fraud. They dug up old photos of me from college, compared them to how I look now, called me a poser, said I'd betrayed my values. I tried to ignore it, to block the haters, but it kept coming. Brands started dropping me, saying they didn't want to be associated with the controversy. My follower count dropped. My income dried up. I reached out to Derek, hoping he'd understand, maybe even take me back. He didn't respond. I found out later he'd gotten married to someone else, some plain-looking girl with a boring job and a sweet smile. They looked happy, genuinely happy. Mark was posting pictures with some new girl, younger, prettier, more successful than me. He looked happier too. I was alone. My career was in shambles, my reputation destroyed. The people I cared about had moved on, and it was all because of them, because they couldn't handle a strong, independent woman who knew what she wanted. I tried to rebuild, to start over. But the internet never forgets. Every time I posted something new, the comments would fill up with hate, reminding everyone of who I used to be, how I'd betrayed myself. I moved to a new city, changed my name, tried to disappear, but somehow they always found me, the haters, The trolls? The people who wanted to see me fail. Now I work a regular job, live in a small apartment, keep to myself. No social media, no attention, no validation, just me, alone with my thoughts. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed true to myself, if I hadn't let the attention get to my head. But then I remember it wasn't my fault. It was theirs. The people who judged me, who mocked me, who couldn't handle a woman who refused to be put in a box. They're the ones who ruined my life, not me. I was just trying to be happy, to be successful, to be seen. Is that so wrong? I see Derek sometimes. Through mutual friends, he's still with that boring girl. They have a kid now, a house in the suburbs. He looks content, settled. I feel sorry for him. He could have had me, but he chose safety instead of passion. Mark's doing well too. Last I heard, he started his own company, made some smart investments. He's probably married by now, maybe has kids of his own. I hope he's miserable. I hope he thinks about me sometimes, wonders what could have been. As for me, I'm fine. Really, I don't need anyone else's validation to be happy. I never did. I'm stronger than all of them. Smarter. Better. And one day, they'll see that. One day, they'll regret what they did to me. But until then, I'll keep my head up. Keep fighting. Keep being me. Because at the end of the day, that's all I can do. And that's more than enough. But wait, there's more. Because life isn't done twisting the knife yet. A few months ago, I was at work, just trying to keep my head down, do my job, pretend I'm just like everyone else. My boss called me into his office. There was a woman there, someone from HR I'd never met before. "Claudia, this is Sarah," my boss said, looking uncomfortable. "She has some questions about your social media history." I froze. I knew what was coming. They'd found out. Somehow, they'd connected me to my old online persona. Sarah smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "We've received some concerning information about your past online activities," she said, sliding a folder across the desk. "Some of your posts, comments, even the way you presented yourself. It doesn't align with our company values." I opened the folder. It was filled with printouts of my old posts, the feminist rants, the angry rants, the thirst traps. Everything. They'd dug up my entire online history, from college to now. "This was years ago," I said, my voice shaking. "I'm not that person anymore." "Are you sure about that?" Sarah asked, her tone sweet but condescending. "Because according to our research, you've had multiple identities online, each one more extreme than the last. How do we know the person sitting in front of us now is the real you?" I wanted to scream, to tell her that this was harassment, that they had no right to dig into my past like this. But I knew it wouldn't matter. They'd already made up their minds. "We're going to have to let you go," my boss said, not meeting my eyes. "It's nothing personal. Just company policy." I walked out of that office with my head held high, but inside, I was falling apart. Another job lost, another chance ruined, all because of who I used to be. I tried to find another job, but everywhere I went, they'd somehow already know about my past. It was like I was blacklisted from the entire industry. No one wanted to hire the angry feminist turned attention-seeking influencer. I had to move again, start over, again. This time, I went somewhere completely new, where no one knew me, where I could be whoever I wanted to be. But it's hard, so hard, every day. I wake up wondering if today will be the day they find me, the day my past catches up with me again. Sometimes I think about Derek, about how simple his life is. No drama, no controversy, no one digging into his past. He probably doesn't even remember me anymore. Or if he does, it's just as some crazy girl he used to know. I see Mark's social media sometimes. He's successful now, running his own company, traveling the world, surrounded by beautiful people. He looks happy, fulfilled, like he never even thinks about me. And me, I'm alone, working a dead-end job, living in a tiny apartment, trying to stay under the radar. No friends, no family, no one who knows the real me. But it's not my fault. It's theirs. The people who judged me, who mocked me, who couldn't handle a woman who refused to be put in a box. They're the ones who ruined my life, not me. I was just trying to be happy, to be successful, to be seen. Is that so wrong? One day, they'll all see. One day, they'll regret what they did to me. And when that day comes, I'll be ready. I'll be stronger than ever. And they'll be the ones who are alone. Not me, never me.